Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. Today is Saturday, and it's been a couple of days since I've posted up a video. I do have some videos in the works, and I'm trying to keep them not so long because they tend to be a little bit long, and I rather put out more videos that are, a fair amount of time, but not too long, because since I'm not putting out a ton of photos in every video, I'd rather just speak to you on topic. So thanks for coming back and visiting the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. Here is where we discuss everything as it pertains to the royals, and this is the British royals, and especially Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. And that's because I have a little bit of a fascination with the British royals ever since Diana, of course. And I don't want to mention her name because I think that a lot of us also have a fascination because of her. And I really think that the British royals understand the value Diana brought to them, both living and in her passing, because people have never forgotten. With that being said, I think that brings us to modern day, and where we're now seeing Harry doing some stuff. And with that, I'd like to add that be assured that the Queen and anyone in the British monarchy that is in a need to know basis, in other words, anyone that's privy to certain information, such as the Queen and all this other stuff and things that are happening that are monumental in the royal family, they have already been planning or know about it. And that's my suspect. That's what I think is the truth basis, the clear and simple truth, that nothing gets out that isn't meant to get out. And if it does get out, then it's a little bit wacky, weird, and wild. Like, again, as an example, Prince Andrew and his whole thing with Jeffrey Epstein. When something like that's happening, that could very well, of course, be a leak. And with that leak, there is a intention. It's a chess game. So if there's a leak and they have been alerted to it, they are working on solving it or diminishing its impact. So with that, I'd like to give my disclaimer. Everything here found on my channel here at the Duchess of Unicorn is found on the public domain. It is under the fair use, and it is under free speech of the United States, where I'm based. And I share my browser with you, looking at the internet, surfing to see what we can see and its validity in reference to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, of course. So today I may get a little, since I already spent 3 minutes on an introduction, please like, subscribe, and send me a comment. I do read them, and good, bad, or indifferent, they have some impact. Otherwise, if you're going to be ugly or nasty and you just have a temper or an ugly persona, don't even bother posting it, a comment, because this channel is not about that, and I don't need the headache. And with that, I'd like to say the channel that I've created doesn't necessarily want to be negative just because it has some negative press, where I'm posting up things that are current. I don't make the news. I don't make the news. I don't even report the news. This channel is about my opinions, my views, and my thoughts, and they're my own. They're just stuff that I think about. And I wanted to share it because I think some of it's funny, some of it's controversial, some of it is thought-provoking, and some of it is just gossip. That's it. And with that, I'd like to turn you on to this little thing here. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can do it on Wikipedia. Now, I don't want to give Meghan more than she should be given, but the woman of the apocalypse, also known as the Whore of Babylon. Now, I'd like to study this photo. I'm going to blow it up a little bit for you so that you can see. Hopefully, I don't have any disturbances, because when I do these videos, I do try to block out my settings. I have daily alerts that should only come once a day. But for some reason, every time I do a video, it seems like I have some type of alert popping up. So hopefully you know, and I know that I have blocked out my settings so that we can just fixate ourselves on this little doodad here. So the woman of the apocalypse is also known as the Whore of Babylon. And I'll go back to that. I just wanted you to see this photo for a minute and take in its, beautiful artwork. Okay. Now, it says not to be confused with the Whore of Babylon, but let's look at this and read about it first, and then we'll go into the Whore of Babylon. The woman of the apocalypse, or woman clothed in the sun, is a figure described in chapter 12 of the book of Revelation. The woman gives birth to a male child who is threatened by a dragon, identified as the devil and Satan, who intends to devour the child as soon as he is born. When the child is taken to heaven, the woman flees into the wilderness, leading to a war in heaven, in which the angels cast out the dragon. The dragon attacks the woman, who is given wings to escape, then attacks her again with the flood of water from its mouth, which is subsequently swallowed by the earth. This stuff is just, wow. Frustrated, the dragon initiates war on the remnant of her seed, identified as the righteous followers of Christ. Now, we know that the Queen in England, or in the UK period, is the head of the church. The woman of the apocalypse is widely identified as the Virgin Mary. This interpretation is held by some commenters as the ancient church, as well as the medieval and modern Roman Catholic Church. This view does not negate the alternative interpretation of the woman representing the church as the modern Catholic dogma. Mary herself is considered the Mother of God and the Mother of Church. Some Catholic commentaries, such as Thomas Haddock's Catholic Bible Commentary in 1859, allow for the interpretation of the woman as either the church or Mary. Now, I want to stop there, and I want to scroll back up and just look at this photo. Now, it doesn't mean, a lot of times when we look at stuff, and this is all stuff that, these things are written early on in civilization. Okay, so interpretation is kind of wide open. Of course, there's scholars who interpret this, but that does not mean they exactly are right. They also can get it wrong. Let's go over to the Whore of Babylon. So this is Wikipedia, and the Whore of Babylon is defined here, or explained here. The Whore of Babylon, or Babylon the Great, is a symbolic figure, female figure, and also a place of evil mentioned in the book of Revelation in the Bible. Her full title is stated in Revelation 17, verse 5. Go get your Bibles out, people. As Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and the abomination of the earth. Now, I'm pointing you to this not because I want to, per se, talk about that this is something I think about in terms of Meghan, and not on that she's involved in the church or anything, but let's face it, okay? We have to start looking at things for clues that make sense to us in terms of, what we really feel, that there is some type of great divide. And when I say great divide, I mean there's things going on that the eyes can't see. And I'm not speaking per se of demons and angels, but I do believe that is out there, and it is real. And the physical eyes can't see, and that's why we're giving other sensory to perceive these things when you feel something's not wrong, when things just seem off, or when things just don't seem right, or when you are getting a sensation of being frightened or scared or terrified. Your senses are there to pick up what your eyes can't see. And if you have a third eye, or we all do, but a pituitary gland that is not calcified, and you work towards uncalcifying it, and there's obviously diet and lifestyle and thought processes and actions and disciplines that go with that. But if you just are conscious that you are working towards seeing what isn't so visible by the physical eye, and believe more in your senses and trust your instinct, and develop and study that instinct to be something that you can build on, just like any muscle, and exercise it, you will be working towards believing what you're feeling and what you're thinking that is not quite right, and you really feel it, but you just can't see the things that you need to see to match it up or to convince yourself or others. So as we stare at this photo of what someone has a rendition of the Horror of Babylon, we just see a woman that is just clothed and she's pregnant and such on and so forth. And now a lot of us will say, well, Meghan wasn't pregnant. She pretended to be pregnant. Well, that's fine and well. Someone else in this day and age, when they wrote these things, people couldn't have babies for other people in terms of like a surrogate. I mean, it might have been thought of like, well, can I have your baby if you don't want your baby, that type of thing. But in the earlier days of civilization, when things weren't so like, we have things at our disposal today that were not ever been able to be dreamt about back then. So in our current day, someone else can have your baby for you, and it can be legal and it can be justified as okay and right. And sometimes it helps a lot of people. It saves a lot of people heartache and sadness. And what's really evil about that type of thing is a lot of that has to do with finances. If you don't have the money to have someone have your baby for you, if you can't hire a human to hold another human that is yours and your husband's, then you don't have that blessing and that opportunity. So a lot of these great inventions require great amount of monies, and that's when you see people willing to do anything. Okay? And so when we think about the fact that Meghan has come out of left field and come into the royal family, and she is, again, like, come on, people, we would have never made the correlation between these two. That counts. That counts to why we're so perplexed when it comes to how she has pulled this off. And this meaning marrying into royal families. Do you really think that she could do this by herself? That she could be so cunning and so powerful that she could find her way into the royal family and by accident and have a supposed child that no one sees? Okay, folks, so this is bigger than you and I could even conceive, because they know this. If you are someone who is evil or evil-minded or treacherous or just so powerful that your bloodline goes back thousands of years and you can trace it. And there's a reason why you want to trace it, but that you can trace it because you're so powerful and you've been around for so long. And that's 1,000 years of secrets, 1,000 years of power, 1,000 years of money, 1,000 years of acquiring different properties, acquiring different people, the loyalty and the dedication and devotion of a court. There is nothing that you probably couldn't do with an endless stream of finances. And the power behind it could not, to me, be completely of the good. And so I'm saying that because we can't keep thinking that Meghan is here and this is happening by accident. We must think so much more than our eyes can see. And so the whore of Babylon herself can represent quite a bit of things. Quite a bit of things. Let's visit this for one moment. Just a moment. Because I don't want to give too much oxygen to something that is beyond a lot of our perception and becomes fantasy and becomes, fairy tale, becomes folklore. I don't want to get too deep into that. But understand, Meghan did not get here without the permission of somebody in a very high stature. And things that are being acted out are acted out not just because Prince Harry wanted to break away from the royal family because, he just wanted to get out all these years. That's a narrative that they want us to believe because it has been said before that Prince Harry had wished he wasn't born into the royal seat. And that could be. And maybe that's a lie. Maybe that's something that's embellished. Maybe that is something he has thought, but has obviously never acted on until Meghan. Do you really think that Meghan is so powerful and so, so powerful that, and cunning that she could lure Prince Harry away from a 1,000-year-old family, bloodline? Do you really believe that? Because she's a woman, because it has to do with sex, because it has to do with her alluring him away on the basis of sex? Let's break that down just for 2 seconds. Prince Harry was born a prince. In his defense, he could have any woman literally that he wanted to, if he wanted to. And I'm sure he's had lots of sex. They can hire people. It's the oldest institution in the world. Oh, you thought I meant the monarchy is the oldest institution in the world. No, I meant prostitution. Hiring, paying somebody else to do something for you to an end of gratification has been around since the time of Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's just end this with the woman of the apocalypse, or the woman clothed in the sun, is an enigmatic figure that has a major and pivotal role in the apocalypse. That's all I want to add. And then we can just kind of take a look at this beautiful painting, this beautiful illustration. And I'm going to end the video here, and I will be back with more. Have a great afternoon. Thank you for watching. If it makes sense and it resonates with you as we go forward, please think about subscribing. Please send me a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and have a great day. Bye-bye.